Special meeting of the Salem City Council is being held tonight in person, Thursday, August 21st, 2025, at 6 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on August 19th, 2025 at 2:51 p.m. The meeting is being recorded and is live on SATV and Zoom unless technological issues interrupt the transmission. Councilors absent, Councilors Varela, Council Watson-Felt, and Councilor Stott. Councilor Rosnewski presiding. Councilor Hapworth moved to dispense with the reading of the record. The previous meeting, all those in favor? We all stand, please, to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilor Harvey. Flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you. City of Salem honors that this land is Nomkeg, a fishing place where generations of Nomkeg people from the Pawtucket Band of the Massachusetts tribe lived and passed through the centuries. We acknowledge that this is unceded indigenous land and also acknowledge the Massachusetts tribe who continue to honor and hold this land into the present. Salem City Council is committed to having ongoing meaningful dialogue with the indigenous peoples who have presence in Salem in order to dismantle the legacies of oppression and inequities that persist today. We are not going to be having public testimony tonight, seeing that it's a special meeting. Hearings none. Appointments and reappointments. Councilor Morcillo.
Thank you, President. I move that these be held under the rules.
Councilor Morcillo requests that these be held under the rules. All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Communications from the mayor, none. Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions, none. Committee reports. Councilor Cohen.
Thank you, President. The City of Salem City Council, August 21st, 2025. Committee on Public Health, Safety, and Environment, co-posted with a committee to whom was referred the matter of ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to Chapter 24, offenses and miscellaneous provisions, adding Section 32, gas-powered leaf blowers, has considered said matter and would recommend remain in committee.
On the acceptance of the report, all those in favor? All those opposed? Under discussion.
Thank you, President. I'll be brief. We had 8 department heads involved, and we had a really thorough discussion, about the effects of leaf blowers on the environment, how efficient they are, whether we should eliminate them for city use as well as residential and commercial, whether we should wait until the batteries are sufficient so that we could just move right to eliminating all gas leaf blowers. And because there's so many things that we need to do further research on, it's remaining in committee. Thank you.
Make a on Councilor Cohen's motion that this, I'm sorry, under further discussion. Councilor Merkel, my apologies.
Thank you, President Prosnewski. Also being brief, I want to say how much I really appreciated the lengthy, thoughtful meeting we had on this issue, and I really appreciated all the city staff that attended, the public that came and gave great feedback, and Councilor Cohen for making the meeting happen. It was a lot a lot of people to coordinate, and Councilor Davis for his work on this with me as well. And I look forward to hearing back from the Board of Health on their thoughts on it and continuing the conversation. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Cohen's recommendation that this be made in committee, all those in favor, all those opposed, matter carries. For the committee reports, Councilor Merkel.
City of Salem in City Council, August 21st, 2025. The Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom it was referred the matter that the City of Salem hereby accept the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 54, which authorizes municipalities to set a minimum threshold for taxation of personal property, and hereby sets that minimum taxable value at $1,000. personal property accounts valued below that amount shall be exempt from taxation, has considered the said matter and would recommend adoption.
On the acceptance of Councilor Merkel's report, all those in favor? All those opposed? Further discussion?
Thank you, President Prosnewski. Our meeting started with me as the chair appointing Councilor Hapworth as a temporary member of the A&F committee for that meeting only. This order is to adopt this section of Mass General Law that will provide a measure of tax relief for an estimated 187 small businesses here in Salem. And this Mass General Law authorizes a city through local action to establish the minimum value under which personal property accounts are exempt from taxation. This order adopts this section of statute and establishes this minimum threshold at $1,000. And not only will this extend some tax relief to our micro and small businesses here in Salem, it will improve the efficiency of municipal operations. And this personal property tax is primarily on business assets, such as equipment, furnishings, and machinery. And as of now, 230 Massachusetts municipalities, about 65%, have adopted this exemption to some degree. And Stephen Cortez, our Director of Assessing, attended the meeting and gave us very thorough information on this. He explained personal property as anything tangible and movable that isn't part of the land or the building, such as office equipment, machinery, tools, and what isn't personal property is anything permanently attached to the building or land, which we consider real estate. It was really great. We all learned a lot, and he had done an incredible amount of research and educated us on something I personally hadn't known a lot about. In intangible things, also, he wanted to note, intangible things such as stocks, bonds, and trademarks, which have no physical form but represent value, are also exempt from local taxation in Massachusetts. And the last thing of note, with the $1,000 exemption, the taxable value removed is about $97,000 with a threshold of $1,000. At $2,000 exemption, that would jump to over $376,000, which is a significant shift in our revenue. So that's how he landed on recommending the $1,000 threshold. And also of important note, lastly, the $1,000 exemption threshold. Below that, they often don't generate enough revenue to even cover the cost of billing and reporting. So I want to thank Stephen Cortez for all his hard work on this and his focus on helping small businesses any way that we can. Thank you.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, President. I was not able to be at that meeting, but I did watch the recording on YouTube. And, you know, anytime Mr. Cortez does an education presentation, I always learn something. He throws a lot out there, but I do learn something. And this was exactly the information that I was lacking and wanted in a committee meeting, which is why I was really happy to see this go to committee. And I realize it kind of delayed the vote and it landed us here tonight, but I think it was worth it. I think it's worth it for people, for residents in Salem to understand why we're proposing this exemption. And that, you know, just like we try very hard to offer real estate tax exemptions for our residents who really need them, and we have a whole, you know, a list of 5 or 6 different categories of exemptions. It's important in this case for these small businesses to also have some consideration for a tax exemption. So you know, I did send him an email to thank him for the information, but I just want to say that this was the reason that that meeting was necessary. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Merkel's motion that personal property accounts valued below the amount $1,000 shall be exempt from taxation. All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Communications from city officials. Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, President. Ordered that residents of the following streets shall be granted eligibility for temporary resident parking, and certain streets shall be designated as
Wait the reading.
temporary. Thank you. So well, I move for adoption.
Councilor Marcelo moves for adoption. Further discussion?
Thank you, President. So this and the next couple of orders are the regular things that we go through before the October season starts to set everything up for the October parking, the resident parking, and the fees and lots. This particular one is not in the ordinance yet because they're temporary. We're trying them out. We're seeing if this makes a difference. And so Councilor Stott and I went through these things to make sure that what we added on the floor last year to amend it was included in this. So this is where we stood last year after we made our amendments to it. So the first couple, Dearborn Street from North Street to Lee Street, Dalton Parkway odd side only from 11 to 13 Dalton Parkway, and May Street were added as streets where residents can get temporary the October resident parking permits. And then the list below, Upham Street, Walter Street, Harris Street, Osborne Street, Orchard Street, Moulton Street, 412 to 414 Essex Street, 129 and 140 North Street. Those residents can get their permits and park in the already designated areas in their neighborhoods, but it won't be on right in front of their house on their street. So that's it.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. Councilor Marcello's motion for adoption on the changes and the sets for the October parking for the certain streets. All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Further communications from city officials. Councilor Hapworth.
Order that the parking rate for the parking
Wait the
lot.
reading.
And I move for adoption.
Councilor Hapworth moves for adoption. Further discussion, please.
This is just increasing the parking rates for these listed lots here for the month of October, these downtown lots. This is something that we did last year as well.
On Councilor, any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Hapworth's motion for adoption, setting the rates for parking on the street stated. All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Further communications from city officials. Councilor Cohen.
Do you want to do Councilor,
Sorry.
what was Councilor Watson's
Yeah.
rules order first?
Yes. Further communications from city official. Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Mr. President. Order that the parking rate for the locations identified below shall be $7 per hour. Washington Street temporary weekend rate established both sides from the intersection with Essex Street to Federal Street, October 1st to October 31st, Saturday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Residents may park here for free during these times, but must register with the Passport parking app. And I move for adoption.
Councilor Hapworth moves for adoption. Any further discussion?
This is something that was done last year. This is just for the month of October, increasing the rates for street parking on Washington Street.
On Councilor Hapworth's motion to increase the rates on the parking areas, all those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Further communications from city official. Councilor Cohen.
I'll take this one. Ordered.
Wait the reading.
Thank you. I move for adoption.
Councilor Cohen moves for adoption. Under discussion.
Thank you, President. Again, another one carried over from last year. I do want to say two things about all of these. The response from the residents, I know I had a lot of residents who live off of Canal Street, very appreciative that they got to park for free, and it did inhibit some of the commercial trucks from parking where they usually would like to park. The other thing is residents have to use the parking app, and there is a very, very small fee. I think it's like 15 cents, which unfortunately it can't waive, but no one complained about that, so I think it's really great.
Any further discussion? On the motion made by Councilor Cohen that we adopt the changes as discussed, which was the same as last year. All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Further communications from city officials? Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Mr. President. Order that the streets set forth
Waive the
below.
reading.
Thank you. Move for adoption.
Councilor Hapworth moves for adoption. Under discussion.
Again, from previous years, this is limiting overnight parking in these spaces in the month of October.
Any further discussion on Councilor Hapworth's adoption to waive the resident parking permits on the listed streets? All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Further communications from city officials. Councilor Hapworth.
Order that the parking rate for the parking garage.
reading.
Thank you. And move for adoption.
Councilor Hapworth moves for adoption. Under discussion.
This is just increasing the garage parking rates for the month of October.
Councilor Hapworth moves to increase the parking rates for the month of October on the listed areas. All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Further communications from city officials. Councilor Morcillo.
Thank you, President. Ordered that the meetings of the qualified voters of the City of Salem be held in the following wards precincts in the city at the polling places designated hereinafter on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, for the purpose of casting votes in the city preliminary election for the nomination of candidates for the following office: Councilor of Ward 1 for the term of 2 years, Councilor for Ward 2 for the term of 2 years, Councilor of Ward 5 for the term of 2 years, Councilor of Ward 6 for the term of 2 years. And be it further ordered that the following places be hereby designated as polling places for said meetings: Ward 1, Precinct 1, Bentley Academy Gymnasium, 25 Memorial Drive; Precinct 2, Community Room, 135 Lafayette Street; Ward 2, Precinct 1 and 2, Community Life Center, 401 Bridge Street; Ward 5, Precinct 1 and Precinct 2, Saltonstall Elementary School, 211 Lafayette Street; Ward 6, Precinct 1 and Precinct 2, Bates School Music Room, Liberty Hill Avenue. And be it further ordered that the polls at said meetings be opened at 7:00 a.m. and closed at 8:00 p.m., and that the city clerk be instructed to post this notice as required by law. And I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Morcillo moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
This is our standard pre-election order, but I will point out that Ward 6 is a new location within the Bates School in the music room, and there will be signs, and there will be mailers going out to every registered voter in that ward. And just to add on to that, in the general election, Ward 3 will have a new location in the high school, same thing. There will be mailers going out to every registered voter to make them aware.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. On Councilor Morcillo's motion that we adopt the election voting places in the terms of the city council, all those in favor? Oh, it's a roll call vote. Sorry. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Morcillo?
Yes.
Councilor Merkel?
Yes.
Councilor Gerslow?
Yes.
Councilor Harvey?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Davis?
Yes.
Councilor Cohen?
Yes.
And Councilor Presnowski?
Yes. On the motion of the election order warrant for the city preliminary was 1, 2, 5, and 6. We have 8 in the affirmative, none in the negative, and 3 absent. Matter carries. Petitions, Madam Clerk.
We have a petition from Comcast to install conduits and provide service for 266 Canal Street.
Hearing ordered September 11th. Further petitions.
We have a petition from Comcast to install conduits for service at 1 Lee Fort Terrace.
Hearing ordered on September 11th. Further petitions.
We have a petition for National Grid and Verizon to install one jointly owned pole at the intersection of Loring Ave and College Drive, which is 33 Loring Avenue.
Hearing ordered on September 11th. Further petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid to install conduits at the intersection of Loring Ave and College Drive, 39 Loring Avenue.
Hearing ordered September 11th.
We have a petition from National Grid and Verizon to install two jointly owned poles at the intersection of Bayview Ave and Cross Ave, 99 and 104 Bayview Avenue.
Hearing ordered September 11th.
And we have a petition from National Grid to install conduits at the intersection of Canal Street and Kimball Road for 266 Canal Street.
Hearing ordered September 11th. Further petitions.
We have a petition from residents on Broad Street to hold a block party between Jackson Street and Dalton Parkway on Sunday, September 7th at 2 p.m. till 8:30 p.m.
Councilor Morcillo.
Thank you, President. I move that this be granted.
Councilor Morcillo moves that this block party be granted. Under discussion.
Thank you, President. This particular weekend, there's two Ward 3 block parties, so any candidates make note of that. On Saturday, the 6th, is a block party on the Barnes-Clark-Wyman neighborhood on the Clark Street cul-de-sac, Clark Ave cul-de-sac. And then on Sunday, September 7th, this is a block party on Broad Street between Jackson Street and Dalton Parkway. Everyone is invited.
Thank you. On Councilor Morcillo's motion that this block party be granted, all those in favor, all those opposed, matter carries. Unfinished business. Madam Clerk.
We have an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to pickup of large items and fees.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption for second passage.
Councilor Hapworth moves for adoption by second passage. Under discussion.
No discussion.
Seeing no discussion on Councilor Hapworth's motion for adoption for second passage, all those in favor, all those opposed, matter carries. Further unfinished business.
We have an ordinance, relative to traffic for North Street for parking prohibited tow zones on North Street and Simon Street.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption for second passage.
Councilor Hapworth moves for adoption by second passage. Under discussion?
No discussion.
Seeing none. All those in favor of the adoption of second passage? All those opposed? Matter carries. Further unfinished business.
We have an ordinance relative to traffic for Washington Street for service zones.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to move for adoption for second passage, but it will be as amended.
Councilor Hapworth moves for adoption for second passage as amended. Under discussion?
All right, so for the amendment here that I'm proposing, we have, or that is being proposed, Section 3, removing 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is the much talked about Washington Street redesign with a bike lane and the removal of the pull-in parking. The issue that we may be aware of is that the street was designed in a way that didn't allow emergency vehicles to pass by due to the median and due to the narrowness of the street. In my view, certainly a lot of questions to be asked about how this got to this point, but I think there is a need for a service zone in this location. There's also been talk potentially in the future of Uber drop-off zones or something along that line. But at the very least, we need to remove the parking so that emergency vehicles can get past. So I guess we'll move to amend that, and then we'll go to the motion for a second passage.
Any further discussion? Councilor Morcillo.
Can you just clarify what the amendment is? It sounds like you're just removing the times. Are you removing the zone?
Yeah, so this was passed initially to have a service zone from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It'll now be a service zone 24/7. So it'll be able to be a service zone, but it will not be parking for anybody at any time.
My understanding is that that section of Washington Street, which was allowed somehow to have parking on the right-hand side prohibited emergency vehicles from passing by when there was traffic in that. So for public safety reasons, that area now will not be public parking whatsoever. It'll be service zone only, correct?
This is correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of moving to second passage on the
Let's do the amendment first, Mr. President, and then we'll...
on Councilor Hapworth's motion to amend as spoken, that the section of Washington Street between Front Street and Essex Street be deemed service zone only for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those in favor of passing this for second passage as amended? All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. Councilor Morcillo.
Motion to adjourn.
Councilor Morcillo motions to adjourn. All those in favor? I thought so. Meeting adjourned.